Hello once again, my friends, my fellow modelers, my fellow Star Trek fans, and my fellow lovers of everything interesting. I'd like to welcome you to another video. I hope you're having a great day, and I got another little goodie to share with you. Well, today I'm going to introduce a future build to you guys, and I'm going to introduce you guys to another model kit, a really fun one. Fans of Round 2, you might be familiar with it. They did a reissue of the Batmobile, and this is going to be the one that's going to feature the Penguin. It also has the Catwoman in the passenger seat, but actually I just got done watching Batman, and my favorite character is the Penguin. So I figured, you know what better time to introduce this model kit to you guys. So we'll go over the model, I'll show you the instructions, and I'll tell you the plan for the model kit. So let's go over to the desk where there's more room and there's more light, and we'll take a look. Okay, let me introduce you to the future build. It's going to be really, really fun. Let me see if I put the light on, be able to see it better. There you go. This is from Polar Lights. And I've shown you a bunch of model kits in regards to the Batmobile, even a reproduction or re-release of the original one from Round 2. This one is going to be, what makes this one special is that it includes the Penguin and Catwoman. And the Batmobile itself is marketed as the Batmobile, the Bad Guy Getaway Edition. And you gotta love the umbrella on the front. Of course, Penguin uses that to fire as a gun, and he's got his umbrella on top, and you can see him having a time of his life driving the Batmobile. And look who he's got on the passenger side is the Catwoman, and we got the bewildered Batman and Robin, horrified that their Batmobile's being taken. Eventually, they do get the Batmobile back, because following the Batmobile, Batman and Robin are on the Bat Cycle, and they can use the remote control to steer the car and to eject the people in the passenger seat. So they do get the Batmobile back. So this is my fondness of Burgess Meredith, and that's the reason I had gotten this kit. And I need practice on working on figures, because I had gotten an AMT kit from Laurel and Hardy, and it's the 1936 Ford, and they have figures in that, but I've never done it before, and that's a vintage model, and I don't want to ruin it, and that's going to be all done in black and white. This one is newer, and this one is a lot more easily obtainable. Should I destroy this one, I'll be able to get another one. This model is a little bit larger than the original release that I had shown you guys, well, the re-release of the original mold. This one is a little bit larger, and yes, I'd like to light it. We'll see if we can light the car. It depends what the parts are. So we got the front of the box, that's by Polar Lights, and this is in 1/25 scale plastic model kit. Paint and glue required, includes the Penguin and the Catwoman. So they look like they're having a ball in a Batmobile. So when you look at the side of the box, you can see this is what the model comes with. You can see the figures. This is a new item, by the way. This is Polar Lights 1966 Batmobile Catwoman Penguin figure 1/25 scale model kit. Is it the same on both sides? No. Let me see if I can get this sticker off so we can see the figures. Here we are. Let's put this aside. Do I want to keep this on the box? I don't really think we need to keep this. Let me just show this to you guys. Just so I wanted to show you what the figures look like. So looking at the side of the box, you can see we've got the optional bat ram Of course, we're going to put that on because that looks really cool. We've got the detailed big block engine, which is really nice. So we can open up the hood and we can check out the engine and what makes the Batmobile go. We've got the crime computer. That's awesome. And we've got the bonus afterburner outlet. And my thoughts on this would be to put in the flickering LED, like the flame flickering LED. I think that would look really cool. I got a few ideas how we're going to light it. Looking at the side of the model itself, you can see we got the beautiful pinstriping, and you might notice the little insignia that's on the side. I don't know if you can tell, Penguin put his little bird mark on the Batmobile. We've got the iconic hubcaps with the bat. And looking over at the figures, you can see the all-new PVC figures. You can see the Catwoman and the Penguin. So when you look at the ends of the box real quick, I want to show you guys, this is model number POL998-12. And this is in 125 scale plastic model kit. And paint and glue are required to make it look like the finished box model. I think it's the same thing on both ends of the box. It is the Batmobile Bad Guy Getaway Edition, POL 998-12. Okay, so the other side of the box, you can see another picture of the model kit. We got the umbrella that's going to go over Penguin to keep the sun off him. And we have the umbrella on the side that he uses as a weapon. The Catwoman finds the Batmobile quite appealing. Who wouldn't, right? With the Penguin behind the wheel for stealing. You can see we've got a picture of the Penguin. I don't know if because of the plastic and the light, you can see the Catwoman. The Penguin goes straight? Not yet he ain't. As much as he may or may not try, the Penguin never had it in him to stay on the straight and narrow. His criminal antics put a persistent thorn in Batman's side and was never more of a nuisance than when he stole Batman's stylish wheels, the Batmobile. When it comes to Catwoman, that darn Catwoman, scat darn Catwoman, the seductive Catwoman was no less of a challenge to Batman, as she too proved a constant foil who also managed to steal the magnificent Batmobile. So those are all the sides of the box. In the front and on the back, it shows you what's actually in the kit. So you can see the parts tree. And again, this is in 125 scale, so this is larger than the one that I showed you, the last Batmobile. Let's see, it looks like we've got 7 trees all together. We've got clear plastic and we have chrome plastic. You can see 8, excuse me, I didn't realize that. And you can see the sides of the car. We got the chassis to the Batmobile. And you can see it's got the black vinyl tires. We've got the figures. And we got the water slide decals. So this is going to be really fun. I tell you guys what, why don't we go over the instructions? I'll show you guys the complete instruction sheet and we'll move on. So this is the Batmobile Bad Guy Getaway Edition. Polar lights, kit number POL 998-12. This is in 125 scale. General assembly, before assembling the model, study the diagrams. We get that, the gluing tips, we can go over that. The keys to the symbols, opaque plastic part. We have the clear plastic part, the chrome plastic part, decal number, paint code, and whether it needs glue or not. You can see the decal application. Some supply decals represent decoration present on the car after its appearance. If you want, you can check that out, pause it. And below that, we have the painting guide. we're going to need clear red, aircraft interior black, turn signal amber, Chevy engine red, silver, and white. Paints listed here are suggestions to match the colors already applied to the model. Modelers may choose to research the colors further and find what satisfy their own judgment. I'd like to be using the actual TV show. We'll try to match everything up. Okay, so now we move on. Step 1 is the engine. We glue the engine halves together, the cylinder heads, the exhaust manifolds, the transmission halves, the transmission pan. Note for best fit, sand forward face, assemble transmission flat before cementing it to the block. We have the coil, the head, the oil filter, the front cover, the water pump, and the manifolds, the carburetor, and the valve covers. So this is the perfect time to paint it for all of the detail. Moving on to step 2 is the suspension and the exhaust. So glue the springs, pin 135 through control arm 77 and snap the end of the pin into the tie rod, and when we do not cement that. Repeat for parts 35 to 78. The attach front suspension assembly by inserting the control arm pin into the outermost hole for upper A arm on chassis. Do not cement. And we glue the springs, the exhaust pipes, the mufflers, the differential, and the drive shaft, and the frame cross arm 82, as well as the leaf springs. So that's the underside. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to paint everything individually. It might be a little bit easier. So moving on to step 3, engine into the chassis, as well as the tires. So insert the rim 204 into the tire. Glue the brake drum in place, and we do the spinner in the center of each rim. And of course, that's going to be red, the little bat. We move on to step 4, and we're going to go on to the interior of the car. Note, the steering wheel, we glue it to the dashboard. Note, this step can be delayed until placing the figure during step 10 because it might be difficult to put the penguin in if the steering wheel's already in. We're going to do the phone cord, the door panels, the fire extinguisher, the emergency brake handle, and the seats. And we'll see when we see the parts if it will be easy to light the panel, but we'll see. And that's step 4. So we're going to move on to step 5, and that would entail going to the body of the vehicle. We're going to put the front roll pan on. The rear roll pan and the rear deck, or the trunk. You can see that's going to be pretty easy, and we'll do all that, and then we'll paint the body before we're going to actually glue it to the chassis. Part 6 is the exterior. The headlights, the headlight covers, the front grille pieces, the computer, the trunk pan, the rear deck lid, the rocket tubes, let's see, the upper level, the rear taillights, the lenses, the rear grills, the afterburner, and a license plate. And we're going to light the afterburner just the way you see it in the show with the fire. It's not going to be fire blowing out, but I am going to use the LED flickering flame. You can see the clear parts for the headlights. And we're going to use parts 106 and 107, and we'll follow the paint guide for the amber. So we're going to move on to step 7, and we're going to do the main assembly, and we're going to put the light on top of the cockpit windows. Now hopefully I got to figure out a way to light that, because that'd be really cool to light. If I can't do this one, I'm thinking maybe we can get an aftermarket one that's in clear resin, and that'll be easy to light that. So we've got the inner fender, the fuse boxes, the fender unit, the master cylinder, the firewall, the beacon, the front canopy, the rear canopy, and we have the parachutes. Moving on to step 8, you can see the final assembly. We're going to glue the antennas on. We got the radiator hose, the radiator shroud, the engine hood, and the trunk lid. And we're going to do all that, the trunk lid and the hood, when we actually paint the body. And we have you can see with the little kind of antenna things that are going to go on either side of the beacon. So that's part 8, the final assembly, and the decals are part 9. Note, the decals should be applied before assembly. Optional decals have been included and can be used as desired. So of course, we're going to do the computer, the Bat computer. You can see what's going to go on to the steering wheel, the battery pack, the power pack, the dashboard, and the fire extinguisher. Let's see, moving on, you can see the top of the car, the decals that are going to go on, a lot of pinstriping on a Batmobile. The side view, you can see the bat, and we have the front and the rear views of the car. And going on now to part 10, which is the figure. The figures included in this kit are made of PVC, which require use of a CA glue. Some builders may prefer to paint the parts before gluing the arms to the bodies. Be sure to position the figure's arms at a proper angle to put their hands on the steering wheel. It may be easiest to place the steering wheel after placing the figures in the seat. And you can see Penguin. The tuxedo coat and pants will be black. Shirt, the gloves, and the teeth will be white. His bow tie and top hat will be purple. The eye monogram will be black. Eyebrows and hair black. And exposed face, ears, and neck will be flesh color. As for Catwoman, the bodysuit and tights will be black with glitter. Her ears will be black with glitter. Her gloves and boots will be black. She'll be wearing a gold necklace. And your exposed face and neck will be flesh colored, and her hair will be dark brown. So, those are the instructions, and I showed you a lot of the goodies in this model kit. I wanted to introduce it to you really quick. We will do a build series on this. We'll start with the unboxing like I always do, and we'll do a total review of it. But I just wanted to make a quick little video of this just because, like I said, I've been watching Batman, and Penguin is my favorite. And I had wanted to just throw a little tribute up to Burgess Meredith. So we will be doing this build. I don't know when. We've got so many going on. We're actually wrapping up this one. And the last video I had done that were for the sails. And I had to cut them out, stain them in tea, and then hem them, and then put little stitches in them. And we'll be putting that onto the ship, and we'll be actually finishing up this build soon. But this will be a future build, and we will get to it. We will get to it, I just don't know when. So my friends, I thank you so much for watching, and until we start this build, I'll talk to you soon.